Today is June 10th, 2025. I'm fixing to tell you about my very bizarre dreams. Multiple dreams about being in Japan. And it pertains to this. Pertains to that. Yeah, through the years I've watched a video or two about the big tsunami that they had back on March 11th, 2011. So the first dream I'm just going to read. I've never been to Japan, never spoken any Japanese, don't even know how to speak it, so I'm just letting you know that. The first dream I had was on June 6th of 2025, just a couple of days ago. I dreamed that I went to Japan, and I was just walking around the streets of Japan. You know, I was just there. I was walking around the streets, looking around, not sure what city, but I could see I was in Japan real clearly. So the next night, June 7th, 2025, I dreamed that I was in Japan and that I was swimming in the canals of Japan, like the rivers and all of that. I was worried about getting brain-eating amoebas, though I did not get much of the green algae water in my eyes or nose. Then I thought, I'm going to go jump in the chlorinated section of the swimming pool before I leave Japan and kill all this mess, meaning bacteria. The chlorinated section means go jump into Jesus Christ and get cleansed of all the things of this world. It's an interpretation to that. And tell an excerpt from June 8th, which is the third night I had this stuff. There's a church that's in Georgia. It was named Trinity, and my mother was in a row of like 4 pine trees, like a small wooded area which divided the yard of Trinity Church from Plymouth Drive. You know, Plymouth is where America was founded. And so I told my mother, and she was in the woods. She was just going on about her day, wouldn't listen to anything. And I mean, you couldn't get anybody's attention. And so I told my mother, you know, I told her the tsunami is coming. I said that in English. Well, then I look at my mother and I said, Hotibel Quida. Yeah, Hotibel Quida. Like that. And when I said that, then I translated that to English in this dream. I said the flood water is coming in. The flood water from the tsunami is inundating. It's taking over everything. I heard the song by Whitesnake, Still of the Night. And it was the part of the song where they do the solo and they played just the solo part. And you know, I tried to tell my mother that this thing was coming. She wasn't listening, and I couldn't get her attention to say, Hotibel Quida. Yeah, that the water was taking over, and flooding and coming in, and this was a bad tsunami. And so then later in this dream, I told my mother again, I said, Hotible Quida, or Quida. I told her that in Japanese, and still wasn't listening. And you know, that was the excerpt of the part of that dream where it was Japan and Japanese. So last night, June the 10th, last night, it really got crazy, and I'm just going to read you the double dream I had. First dream, I dreamed that I was watching the Japan tsunami. I was in Ofunato City, or Ofunato, some have said it, where the wave back in 2011 came in and devastated everything. So the dream changes to this video that I had previously seen of Ofunato City, all the debris in the water and all of that, when the tsunami slowed down. So the guy in Japanese, this is what it sounded like. I have no idea how to speak Japanese, but this is what it sounded like that I heard him say. He said, Kumo sayen ten yarki, like that. So then in English, it translated and said, for the devastation is horrific. The devastation is horrendous. It's amazing, like in a very negative way. So then I heard again the Whitesnake song, Still of the Night. Same place at the solo again. And then I said, Ho Tibble Quida. And then I said again, the water, the tsunami is overtopping the wall. It's overtopping, inundating everything, flooding everything. And that was the end of the first dream. Second dream, I dreamed that, you know, in my childhood home, and just keep it in mind, the Pope died on the 111th day, I think it was. The number was 111. I was on one of my single beds. So in Japanese, again, in the second dream, I heard the guy in that video as the debris was breaking up in Ofunato City. Then I heard it say, this is otan, UFO. Say Ofunato backwards. And NATO, otan, UFO, Ofunato. And so then the guy said to many in that room, Como sayen ten yarki, something like that, as the debris was all breaking up and something like that. Well, then I said it again, for the devastation is horrific with this tsunami. Then the scene changed to a large round radar screen like you see in an airplane airport control tower sitting in front of it. And I noticed it was flight radar. Then suddenly, as I was watching it, out of nowhere, I saw like 5 green blips show up out of nowhere on that radar. So then I'm trying to tell everyone the attack on America is totally unexpected, unforeseen, with no warning, and happened so fast no one knows what hit them. So then again, everybody is going on about their day. You can't get their attention. You can't tell them anything. Nobody will listen to the warning. And the warning fell upon deaf ears, as there was hundreds of people I was trying to warn in this thing to tell them this tsunami and this attack and all this was coming. And no one believed an attack was coming. But it's that swiftly that I heard in the second dream again the song by Whitesnake, Still of the Night, where the guitar solo was. That's 3 times now, at least. And the solo burst forth in its fullness. And the lyrics right before it said that, can't keep away, can't keep away. And so then it changed back talking about this attack, and it took America, the government, the people, everybody by surprise, like the Japan 2011 tsunami came in so quick after that earthquake. And then it said Ofunato, otan, UFO, or Ofunato backwards. You know, NATO, UFO, otan, UFO. Ofunato, some said it, that city in Japan. And so then the planes popped up on the American flight radar in the dream. And so then I woke up, but it ain't over. So I woke up, went to the bathroom, and I looked at the towel hook on the back of my bathroom door. And, you know, it's a dragonfly, and you hang the towel on it. So then I heard in the spirit, it said, that's a Japanese letter. I'm going to show you pictures of all of this stuff that I've seen at the end of this video. So anyway, the dream said, that is a Japanese letter symbol. Look at it. It's shaped like the letter J. And then it said, the dragonfly looks like this letter J. And then it said, I heard it was UFOs to NATO. I kept seeing that this was like a Pearl Harbor attack. You know, that style, you know, the judgment came on America. So then I started hearing this other word. And you know, when I watched the videos, I heard them say this word, but had no idea what it was. And I'm not sure that I'm saying it right or spelling it right. I'll just say it like it sounded. You know, it said, Damus. Damus. I hope I said it right. The word sounded like Damus. And then it translated to English, and it said, that's the word for large wave. Whether that's the right translation or not, I don't know, but the dream said that. Damus was a large wave, or a translation of like water inundation from a large wave, tsunami. It was crazy. And then I started hearing out Suchi. And then it said, for America as out as such, as I. And it said that in the dream. Then a voice said, America, out Suchi. And I know that's a city in Japan. And I'm saying those dreams were real weird. I'm convicted that it's a warning. I don't know if those translations are right or not. I just told you what the dream said. So then there was this other word. Right after that it said, Agdamus, yeah, attention, a very large tsunami is coming in. Evacuate to higher ground as high as 6 meters. And some said as high as 16 meters. And move to higher ground now. Large tsunami incoming. Yes, Sendai, Miyagi, Iwate, I think they say. I heard that and thought I'd tell you this stuff. It's crazy. There's what the Dragonfly towel rack looks like. Look at the J part. Here's a better one. So after I heard, look it up. Yeah, the Japanese alphabet had SHI for that letter. I'll show you something else. So then I saw it. This exposure isn't good. You know, death means death or die, or the number 4. It also means city. Revelation 18, that great city, mystery Babylon, convicted, that's talking about. I'll just show you that, then I'm going to read you that transcript so you can get it. Dragonfly Island is the largest of the 4 main islands of Japan. I had no idea. It lies between the Pacific Ocean east and the Sea of Japan on the west. Dragonfly Island. The thing right there in the middle, I kept seeing that too. M-A. 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 It meant like the space or time interval between different things. When I looked it up, it said that, and it hit me in the spirit. The time between a day and 2001, everybody remembers, and the interval of time and space that God's given this nation to repent. And kept seeing that, and you know, M-A, and then you see that number there. Again, I can't guarantee that these dreams are the right interpretations, or I'm just telling you what I heard in the dream and what all I said in Japanese in the dream and translated to English and all of that. I don't know even really how I did it. I just know I dreamt it and I told everybody. Today is June 10th, 2025. Much love, everybody, and I thought I'd share those dreams.